hear all these people talking about such important issues. And next we have somebody who was here just vacationing in our beautiful city from Ottawa. Kelly Black is from Ottawa. He's a graduate student there at Carleton University. And he just happened to be here in the city and heard about this rally and the march that we had here today. And he said, well, holy shit, I was at the protest. I saw what happened. I need to come out and show support here in St. John's. So Kelly, could you come up and say a few words, please?
All right. Thanks. I'm really happy. I lost my voice a little bit chanting. I got a little carried away there. But I just want to share a quick little story about one example of how I saw that civil liberties were violated in Toronto. I caught a bus with about 40 other people, a school bus, from Ottawa to Toronto, which is a 5-hour bumpy ride on a school bus with no bathroom. But we were that dedicated. And on the bus, the newspaper article from the Toronto Star circulated saying that the McGuinty government had enacted the Public Works Protection Act. And it said that this applied to within 5 meters of the $9 million security fence they built. Now, within that 5 meters, they could demand identification and they could search you, which otherwise would be a violation of your civil liberties if they hadn't enacted this law. Now, we were heading down on the Friday, June 25th, to go to the first big rally of the weekend, which was mainly for gender justice and disability rights. And it led from Allen Gardens. It started at Allen Gardens. And the bus dropped us off right at Allen Gardens, which is a big park in Toronto. It's several huge city blocks away from the security fence. And as we got off the bus, our bus captain reminded us of this Public Works Protection Act that had been enacted and how it applied to the fence. And as soon as we stepped off the bus, all along, lining the whole entire sidewalk of Allen Gardens were police officers, denying entry to anyone who refused to have their bag searched or who refused to provide identification. Shame! That's right, shame, because we found out later, not only did that Public Works Protection Act not apply to 5 meters outside the fence, it did not apply to anywhere else in the city. So rather than face police intimidation and be searched without warrant, which is a violation of our Charter of Rights, we went down the street for an hour and we had some lunch. And when we came back, there was tens of thousands of people at Allen Gardens, and the police had no choice but to let people in and start the march. And when the march started, tens of thousands of people marched in the streets, and there were
police officers lining the streets with their bikes. We passed an alley. There was over 100 police in riot gear down the alley. There were helicopters. There were helicopters
flying overhead. There were police officers on roofs. There was even, get this, a Sea King helicopter in downtown Toronto. Part of me was afraid it might fall apart on us, but it didn't do that. This was the police state in action. 19,000 police officers protecting against what? The worst that happened that day, they arrested a deaf person for not obeying police orders.
ridiculous!
The federal government hopes that we will go away, but we will not go away. The federal government hopes that they can ignore us and they can wait us out and that they won't have to have a public inquiry because they think Canadians aren't interested in civil liberties and the violation of the Charter of the Rights. But we're here today to tell them that we are interested, and we're here to stand up for our civil liberties. And I'd just like to close with a quote from Tommy Douglas. He said, "Courage, my friends, 'tis not too late to build a better world."